Extreme fighters returning to Australia from Syria and Iraq are being closely monitored in Queensland as part of the state's bolstered terror watch. Queensland's Police Commissioner Ian Stewart says the extremists' new skill set and their potential to commit acts of terror are a great source of concern. Around 70 Australians have been fighting in Syria and Iraq, with at least 6 accidental terrorists returning home, telling family and friends they'd been duped into fighting. Meantime, police have heeded Tony Abbott's warning of a heightened terror risk, rostering on an extra 3,000 officers for Sydney's New Year's Eve celebrations. I want to go to Reid Butler, who's in Sydney for us this morning. Reid, how will this year be different to previous years?
Good morning, Tom. Security will be tighter than ever this year, following that warning from the Prime Minister that there's been an increased level of terror chatter in the wake of the Sydney siege. Now, what organisers are doing for New Year's in response to this is they're deploying 300 security staff at key locations around the harbour, who this year will not just be monitoring for the normal sorts of things, drunken behaviour, glass bottles, that sort of stuff, but they'll also be on high alert for any suspicious terror-related activity. Now, the New South Wales Police Force is on board with this too. They're deploying 3,000 extra officers around the city. That's more than in recent years, monitoring for the same sort of thing. Now, while I must stress there's been no direct threat against the harbour, organisers are working with authorities around the clock to make sure it remains that way, and that the million or so revellers expected here next week can bring in the new year as safely as possible. Tom?
All right, Reid, thank you very much for the update. A number of people have been arrested after a brawl erupted in Sydney's CBD overnight. Security at a nearby venue called police, who broke up the fight at the front of a residential tower on Pitt Street. Paramedics treated 2 people, taking one to hospital with an injured finger. More than 30 people have been struck down with food poisoning after a Christmas party south of Melbourne. Paramedics were called to a park in Portsea when the revellers began suffering severe symptoms. 12 required treatment, with 1 man admitted to hospital in a stable condition. It's prompted health officials to remind people attending festive season barbecues to handle their food with care. Friends of a young man missing, feared drowned in the New South Wales Riverina region, have revealed he was an Iranian asylum seeker who survived a treacherous boat journey to Australia. The 25-year-old was swimming with colleagues near Wagga Wagga on Christmas Day when he was swept down the Murrumbidgee River. The search for him will resume this morning. 2 teenage boys have been filmed fighting on a suburban Adelaide train. The video shows the pair exchanging blows before bystanders intervene. Police are urging anyone with information about the identity of the boys to contact Crime Stoppers. Prime Minister Tony Abbott's so-called women problem doesn't appear to be getting any better. A new poll published today in Fairfax Papers shows female voters rate the government very poorly across all policy areas. Women rated the government's net overall performance 12 points lower than men did. Female voters are also more pessimistic about the economic outlook than their male counterparts. Ceremonies have been held across Southeast Asia, marking 10 years since the Boxing Day tsunami, which killed an estimated 230,000 people.
Today is a day of remembrance. It gives us an opportunity to honour those who lost their lives and stand with the survivors who withstood so much.
26 Australians were among more than 5,000 people killed when the wave struck Thailand. More services are planned there over the coming days. And it seems movie lovers can't get enough of the new controversial film The Interview. The comedy about a plot to kill North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is the most popular clip on YouTube in the US, while cinema screenings have sold out.
I liked it. It was funny. Yeah, I can see where people would think it was very insulting. But it was, you know, it's just comedy, so I liked it.
The film reportedly brought in $1 million on its opening day. Not bad when it's only being screened in just 331 small and independent theatres following the Sony hacking scandal.
We're in Frankston, Victoria, and this is just blowing my mind with amazement because we're here for Sand Sculpting Australia's Friends, Foes and Superheroes, and they are extraordinary. It's all your favourite characters from Disney, Pixar, Marvel and Star Wars. It kicked off on Boxing Day and they're going to be here for 4 months. I know, how do you get sandcastles to stay for 4 months? All these questions we're going to answer throughout the morning, but let's get a look at the weather for the first time this morning. First up in Queensland, it is going to be a shower or two, a possible storm, a top of 34 for Mount Isa. In Longreach, a shower or two, possible storm also, a top of 37. For Gladstone, a possible shower, a top of 31. Also 31, a possible shower or storm later on if you're in Bundaberg. And for Noosa, if you're lucky enough to be holidaying there's going to be rain with easterlies, a top of 29. For New South Wales, Tamworth, there's going to be rain at times, a top of 26. 35 and sunny for Broken Hill, a warm one. For Wagga Wagga, it's going to be a mostly sunny day, a top of 29. And 21 cloudy if you're in Wollongong. Here in Victoria, Mildura is going to be a sunny day, a top of 31. And it's going to be 24 for Ballarat, a sunny day. And here in Frankston, a sunny day, expecting a top of 22 degrees. Down in Tasmania and Swansea is going to be a mostly sunny day, a top of 24. And for Strawn, it's going to be rain clearing in the evenings to a fine weather with northeasterlies, a top of 15. For South Australia, Mount Gambier, mostly sunny day, a top of 24, and 25 sunny in Ceduna. Western Australia, Geraldton, it is going to be a warm one, a top of 36 degrees. It's going to be a sunny day. And for Karratha, it's going to be a sunny 38 and 40. It's going to be a scorcher for Port Hedland and a sunny day. Up in Northern Territory, and Catherine is expecting showers, storm likely later on, a top of 33 degrees, and 27, and rain at times if you're in Tennant Creek.